Okay, so today is day 19 of my gratefulness and life story. I wanted to talk about, I keep talking about some of the injuries and things I overcame. And a big reason why is number one, I'm a big believer of making something good, even though it doesn't seem like a great situation at that moment. So that's part of it. And also, I'm human too. And all the stuff that I've been going through and learning from, I'm sure other people have gone through it, and I want them to know that they're not alone and that there are people that are advocating, trying to actually get you better. I'm not out just to try and sell people something, and you know, I really believe in what I'm doing, and I can see what the benefits are, but I'm not bulletproof, I guess would be the word. I got taught that this year. I've been doing this stuff for 5 years of the flexion extension methodology, and I'm overdoing it because I want to know if there's a such thing as overdoing it. I want to know if I pull backwards too much, will I eventually become this extension body type or the blue team? And so far, no, it hasn't happened. However, I used to have weak hamstrings. My hamstrings are caught up. I wake up every morning. I do not feel like I need to stretch anymore. I'm actually loose, which is kind of crazy. So I would love to share that with people. But this past year on Father's Day, I was over at my boyfriend's house, and my cat had gotten stuck under a bed. And I couldn't move the bed. It was a couple 100-pound bed. So here I am laying on my side on the ground. I'm trying to get the cat, and I have the cat, and I'm pulling him out from underneath. But his shoulders were too tall because it was an exotic cat. So I literally, I'm laying on my side. I grab the cat with this arm, or grab the bed, and I lift the bed up. And I wasn't thinking, I have the cat in one hand, I'm doing that, and all of a sudden I heard about a 4-second tear like a burlap bag. So I'm holding the bed. What made me think I can't move it this way? Here, let me move it with one arm while laying on my side. My brain was not working at that moment. And I heard the tear, so I just kind of set the bed down. I pushed the cat back underneath it, and I rolled over, and all of a sudden this huge heat wave hit my body. So I'm like, oh my God, what'd I do? So I stood up, and I'm like, I don't feel anything. Now, I'm pretty savvy with injuries, and I work with them on a regular basis with my clients. I didn't feel anything, and it kind of scared me. I'm like, did I tear something completely off? I know I heard this loud tearing sound. I mean, literally, it sounded like a bag tearing, and it was at least 4 seconds. So then I started walking to the kitchen, and I almost passed out. So I'm like, okay, I definitely tore something, but it was just a little tight. It wasn't hurt, so I didn't understand that. Anyways, I got an MRI. I told the chiropractor at our club, I said, I think I tore something, and he didn't know. He said, just don't do anything yet. I'm getting ready to go to Indiana to go water ski and do all that, and I'm like, I need to know. But I didn't have a lot of pain. I didn't have any aches. I didn't have any numbness. I didn't have any weakness from what I could tell. I wasn't going to push it because, God forbid, this is my shoulder. That's one of the most challenging things to recover, and, nobody wants surgery on their shoulder. So the MRI says I have a complete slap tear from 9 to 3. That's an upper labral tear, and I guess baseball pitchers get that type of tear. And I went to a physical therapy session in Indiana just because I want to know if there's something I can or can't do. And when they screened me, they're like, you're released. There's nothing we can do for you. Surgery is the only option, but all the rotators that you would need to stabilize are all stable, so you're functioning at the highest capacity you could with this type of tear. And since I was symptomatic, which is unheard of for the degree of the tear that I have, she was blown away. She's like, oh my God. But it was even more interesting that she could dislocate my shoulder when I was laying on my back, which my whole theory is don't ever have anything touch my back, being the red team. But she couldn't do it when I was laying on my stomach. So I thought that was interesting because at first I'm like, oh God, who's gonna listen to me here? I'm getting injured and all that. But the reason I didn't get severely injured, considering this was an unusual circumstance of lifting a couple 100-pound bed with my arm sideways, is my rotator cuffs from all the training I've been doing, all these Y's and T's, which is my theory, have actually saved me from having severe pain and dysfunction to the point where I don't even think I really need a surgery. I'm still, I talked to an orthoped. I went to a major organization. I was at an international clinic for rehab and sports, and they said, 10 years from now, are you going to have a frozen shoulder and all that? That's the concern. But they said, you have a very unusual situation considering how strong your rotators are. So hats off, whatever you've been doing, hence what I've been doing. But at the same time, I'm not out of the woods. I don't have a labrum on 3/4 of my labrum, so that is still a real deal. So I'm grateful for that, the stuff I've been doing. I'm also grateful for kind of learning. I mean, I blazed that trail and now I'm not as scared. I mean, so I'm not saying people aren't going to injure themselves, but I might keep them out of the surgical centers a little bit more than maybe what they could do on their own. So I'm grateful for that. But I figured I'd share that story. And yes, I am full functioning. I'm coaching volleyball. My daughter we won our championship. We won 3 out of 4. And so I'm serving, I'm hitting, doing all the things I used to do. And I'm surprisingly pain-free. I can sleep on my shoulder. I mean, it's crazy. I have to give hats off. I actually did a injection, a PRP in my shoulder just in case, because I'm concerned. I had Sonel Jane, look at it, and he did the injection. So, but maybe some of it's from that. I don't know. I was trying to be proactive. I'd have to get another MRI to see if there's any repair at all that may have happened. But since it's such a low blood supply area, not very likely. But I'm still enjoying life, and I'm not having to suffer from it. But yet, it's a pretty big tear. So, all right. So I am human, guys. I just want to share that. But I can also walk people through maybe to having a better life, considering all the stuff that they do, and they don't have to be scared of everything.